for both of these teams. Chinese teams, Eastern teams as a whole have a tendency to say, the draft's not the problem. We could have played better. If we play better, we win that game. It's a very traditional thing, and exactly like we predicted. These are strong picks. The pick's not the problem. We just need to play better.
All right, so Corki getting locked in instead of the Lucian here, but the Zig back to dish out damage.
The scaling, right? What worked for you from game one, we're going to take it back. And Degon, do it. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe Lucian has not won a game yet. We said when the good team start playing Lucian, he's going to start winning, but Nova, #1 regular season team, lost on the Lucian as well.
All right, the biggest difference here, the Zed now, like, the scale, one, but then two, Corki can get away from Zed a lot easier than the Lucian, right? We saw the Lucian have some issues getting a little closer, and we've seen that throughout icons where the shorter range champions have been disrespecting the engage range of those that want to hop onto them, like a Zed, like a Jax. But Corki has a little bit more of an escape button there with the Valkyrie, and Garen getting picked up here, Stuart.
Interesting priority, really, by Nova picking Garen. I think, you have to ban AP mages on the side of Nova because you need some source of. If you full AD comp against the Garen could just go full armor and it's just basically unkillable. So Nova probably going to ban out Orianna and probably Morgana as well at the same time.
And last time I believe it was the Morgana and Karma, right?
Yes.
Karma. So Karma going to be the one that is open, theoretically, right? We'll wait and see. Gragas getting taken away here.
Doesn't matter which pick you leave up because both picks are so good with the Jax. Echo did a great job last game. If you give him a supportive champion, okay, it's going to be the set band away instead. We didn't want to trade here. That could be a possibility as well.
All right, wait for the final ban from Furious Gaming. It's the realization that we wanted 3-game series here, and we're getting it with Furious Gaming, and Nova Esports is just wild.
This is probably the most unlikely game of the entire game that we thought would go to a 3-game, and it's our first 3-game series of icons so far.
Renekton banned away, and they go with the Rakan here, so maybe that was the thing that was missing, the ability to engage once you get that 4,000 or 5,000 gold lead that Nova's consistently gotten here within the first 5 minutes. Again, Furious Gaming, Rakan able to do that.
Galio's honestly been a very underwhelming champion to me after the nerfs. I feel like the Rakan is going to be a great boon to Envy draft now.
I think they're really shutting down Cabsay's champion pool right now. You know, the Alistar ban, the Set ban as well was for the support pool, and also the Rakan ban. So now what's Capo going to pick up here? There's so many engaged champions that have gone down. I feel like Capo has been a champion player that played very aggressive, played all of these aggressive champions, but the Karma pick is pretty much the only AP champion that's still open.
I still want to see some engaged support coming in here, but there's really nothing left. Like Leona, so they just go for the Braum instead. It's not a bad pick, but I feel like this hurts them. Because how did they win the game last time? They were aggressive. They could find fights. They could find avenues to go in. Braum doesn't give you that.
Right. It feels like you're asking a lot of pressure as they have this whole series to now make his own play. You get a lot more of kiting away, run into a Braum, less so of like instant engage, right?
Wukong jungle? Wukong jungle Garen top, right? That seems more likely here to me.
That's it's the first time we've seen Wukong jungle for a long time, really, to be fair. It's mainly Wukong Baron lane that we've seen, but I think on the side of Furious Gaming, you kind of don't have that engage source now from the Alistar like you did in the previous game. You have a Braum, and most of the time plays really passive. But to be honest, on the side of Furious Gaming, how do you engage? How do you play aggressive, you know, as Furious Gaming?
Russia and Echo, right? It's the same two guys from last game. I think they really need to step up big here. And Libra, I guess, as well.
Yep.
All right, the draft has been completed. History has been made with Furious Gaming taking 1 game off of Nova, but will that be a footnote in the history books, or will it be its own chapter? Let's find out as we send over.
It is Furious Gaming who took them the distance, and I was telling you right before we went on mic, I think they might have done it again in a draft. Oh my.
We saw this happen last time. Surely it cannot happen twice in a row.
I don't know, Nova. You really have to expect that after it happened last game. I know that was 40 minutes ago, but still. It's so scary in these level ones as well because Rome is like devastating.
Here's the amazing thing, TJ. Furious Gaming have doubled down, and even with the champions banned away, the Orianna Alistar removed, they've gone back with just a slight twist.
Well, the thing that happened last game was Nova Esports didn't run the map, didn't earn a massive gold lead, didn't punish them for only drafting late game. And if that happens, then absolutely Furious Gaming are right to say, okay, let's do it again. Because Furious Gaming's strength, as is the case for most of the WL teams, as especially the case for them, a team with Kappa and Prussia on it, is their team fights.
Right.
And if no Esports are going to give them a free bus ticket to Team Fight Town, they'll take it any day of the week, so they build the composition around it again.
Being able to play for that, Nova Esports do see themselves adapt slightly now with this Rakan to better help them facilitate the engage, so try to avoid the situation you just mentioned.
I would also say, I think this, like, the removal of Dilution, the Cork coming in here.
Right.
Like, this is a little bit more of a late game composition from Nova Esports. But that in and of itself is interesting, because the response being blasted out in a late game 5v5 team fight, and not, alright, well, let's make sure that doesn't happen. Let's give Long, like, his Lee Sin or something.
And a really interesting decision here from Nova as well.
Yeah. Early pressure, and this is what I'm interested in. Long is an incredibly good Lee Sin. It would be so easy if I'm the coach of Nova to just say, okay, well, let's just win early. Let's get Long Lee Sin, let's run the map.
An interesting move here from Libra.
Oh.
A few auto attacks away. Yen picks up the hunting fruit time.
He misses the empowered shock blast, really timing from Long. Or sorry, from Nyan to dodge it.
We start to see some of the early power here from Ita.
And so, Nova Esports, instead of doubling down on the early game and just trying to make sure they never get to it again, they said, you know what? I bet we win this late game team fight. Let's just make sure we have the tools for it. It'll be fine. And that feels risky to me, granted, because it didn't just feel like Furious Gaming, you know, had gotten to a state their composition was good at. They were winning those fights. They were earning those wins.
A good rotation here from Nova to move down to bottom end.
Yeah, this is a lot of gold, actually, getting past up them.
Gold chunk out the turret.
This might be a
here as
whole
well.
turret. Okay.
Still a little bit
Entire
away.
Entire wave. That's
But-
scary.
It is very nice to see Nova Esports making proactive moves this time around.
I was just very nervous because Remake was sitting there with the satchel shard. And Arthur was a ways away. They decided not to take the risk. I'm jumpy. Nova Esports lost to Furious Game.
Look, anything could happen here at this point, TJ.
Pressure and Libra already up here on the top side, hunting Long in his own jungle.
Which is surprising that Long is able to take this exchange. The Cyclone first comes through. We also have to fight as Yami joins
Interruption!
in. Prussia over by the back. Long chases after, but Prussia's still alive. How does he get away with these things? Prussia in and Prussia out. Now Furious Gaming, they have to worry about the rest of their team. Libra baited in by his teammate, but Kempa Zero will get away by flashing with hunting fruit. Re-engage over. The Prussia is still alive, but a clone comes through and Long finally takes down the adversary.
And there's your answer. The Death was kind of wondering what is the Wukong here for. He interrupts the middle of the Deathmark application. When he gets ulted, he drops the Cyclone, and we can see it on the replay here. He drops Cyclone as Prussia ults him and completely cancels the play. Here it is again. Interrupted, shut down. Prussia cannot complete the combo. Prussia runs for his life and eventually gets hunted down. That's Nova Esports having a plan to deal with aggressive heads.
Echo does manage to get away here. Remake and Sata fighting their own fight in the bottom end. Let's Remake that burns the summoners away. Well, we need to start looking towards what happens here as the 5-minute mark is now approaching. Prussia shut down with that early first kill, but despite that, still very even a game on both sides.
Yeah, pretty even gold. I will say there's a difference here in that Nova got those kills by killing Prussia, which is something they didn't get last game. Last game, around this time, Prussia was already looking pretty nasty. So, if Furious Gaming want to repeat last game, they need to find a way to get gold onto their Zed. He is so much of their playmaking. Oh, a little unfortunate.
One of the ways could have been a kill onto Yami.
Look at the Nova Esports vision game. I love this. They were doing this last game as well. Making sure they have a deep ward just behind the dragon pit. Making sure they have wards ultra their own jungle, so there's a way to steal anything away.
And always dancing around the edge of where the opponent's vision could be. You saw what Issa was doing there. He was standing away from where what could potentially be.
In the bush as well.
Exactly.
Making sure nobody can, like, flank and
Oh my
test them.
goodness. This is interesting here. Package comes across to get the kill onto Libra. As they were doing the Rift Herald, now being intercepted. Remember, Echo used his flash to get away from the last fight, so now taken down. Just an embrace comes through from Sata, but it's only stopped them from going in Long, working on that dragon as well.
And Furious Gaming being treated... Oh dear. There it is. Furious Gaming being treated with the respect they deserve this time round.
Absolutely.
Nova Esports playing them like another WRL team. And that is getting them the wins in this macro game. Playing the map very carefully. Respecting the fact that Furious Gaming could win team fights against the best of them. That is a victory for Furious Gaming, a victory for WOL, but a bad sign for them in this game specifically.
I will say this, TJ. I feel like Furious Gaming have that X factor in them. You know, something.
You think they're still in this?
I won't say that. I will say they have an X
okay,
factor.
well, you had a moment there to get some Twitter followers.
Well, I still think they're an amazing
to be the cool
team.
kid.
I
and
still
you
think they're
backed
an
away
amazing
from
team.
it.
I don't want. If that's how I get Twitter followers, I don't want that.
Right. If that's how you get power, you don't want power.
Exactly. And I think Furious Gaming, I feel like they have that X factor, right?
Okay.
Now Nova Esports really have to pull all the stops. They're doing their due diligence and they're getting it done right. 0-5 to start off game. Prussia trying to assess the back line.
Doesn't have the damage.
He got remake so many times last game, but this time it's not going to be the same.
Unlike last game, he doesn't have so much damage that he can just one-shot because he's behind in the early game.
And not being able to one-shot means he has to back off. He's going to reset, come back into the fight again if they want to go for the Rift ult.
So kind of the vector here for Furious, if they would like to win this game, is stall out. Wait until the mid-late game. You're looking at like 2-3 item completion on Zed, and then he'll be a one-shot again. And that's where Furious Gaming can win. But then you keep the gold within about 5,000, already kind of drifting out of the window. And that's very worrying, because if Nova are more than like 5,000 ahead, you're not going to be able to kill Yisa. You're not going to be able to kill Nian in these fights. And that will just be devastating. If your full combo can't get past those key targets, then there's just no way to win. So, it's hard, granted. Is the summary.
Is hard.
Is the cliff notes.
That summarized quickly, it is a very difficult game.
Summarized quickly, it's rough out there.
It's rough out there.
Furious Gaming, a little bit behind.
When you see what they have in store for us, as Rift Turtle was picked up during that time, goes over to Long. They already do have that first turret, so a second does assist them quite a bit here. Being a little bit more tempo, don't want to allow Furious Gaming of the entry into that mid to late game like you've mentioned.
Yeah. I will say Nova kind of slowing down here, which is how they got into trouble in game 2. Okay.
Slow down, going to bottom end.
2v1.
He's in caught up position.
He's dead.
Goes down to Echo.
Not exactly who won the gold into, but they might get this turret good again for the bomb.
Just making sure he clears out the wave, and there's no way for Furious Gaming to get the turret there.
Did you see Furious Gaming go, hang on, there's a Ziggs in the area? And immediately turn to try and find a kill.
Prussia wants it, but he has no flash. It's going to be difficult.
Ooh, here, and he's all alone here.
An interesting position, but the satchel charge is using the wrong target. Prussia losing health to the Ignite. Remake. A little greedy there. Flashes in for the auto-attack.
Long up top here.
Leap trading against him. The Cyclone actually doing some good work here. Having Cyclone used, but the secondary is still available. You see Yen over the edge of the wall.
He's got the kill.
But it's difficult to follow up with. He doesn't have the mana. He has the flash, though, but would have been aggressive.
Capital Siva trying to ult the wave for clear. A valiant effort. I really like the idea.
Got the B off as well.
Yeah, it was a good PA, but unfortunately there was a satchel turn to take down the turret, and that's going to continue across the map. Here's the Nova Esports we expect. Very clean, very clinical, running a gold advantage.
Closest to turrets, 10 minutes into game.
And it's not looking so great for Prussia. Echo does have a decent amount of gold. It's going to really stand out series for Echo. We introduced this series by kind of defining him as a more supportive jungler. That has kind of not been true. Now it needs to not be true the most, because if Furious Gaming a path into this game, it is through their jacks right now.
Libra has been doing well into the end, but really will be about Echo's performance in this game.
Turret just goes down to minions.
It happens.
He's getting pushed by Libra. Libra backs away, and nobody can get to it in time. So Libra gets kind of tangential credit. A little bit more gold in the Furious Gaming pocket.
Any amount will definitely help them get to a point where Echo will be able to deal with the threats. We see
Here
the strongest combo available
on the turret.
Echo and Pressure.
Their turret Pressure doesn't want. Echo kind of thinking about it. Pressure
is convinced. He was like, yeah, maybe.
Okay, all right.
Now we go on the turret. Now because you have the crowd control from Caposema, we will kill you on the turret.
Yeah. On the opposite side of the map, the dragon is being taken.
Still being used. just top them up, and the turret like to go down here. Remake in an interesting position, very aggressive on the turret here, but it trade back beautifully, still buying time. Yami holds Echo in place with the Ignite taking him down.
Dies.
The wave is gone, and now Furious Gaming have to start backing away. A beautiful knockout as a double kill on the Sother. Precious is running away, brings Capozera with him.
Disaster for Furious Gaming in the top lane. Perfectly played by Remake, recognizing how much focus he was drawing.
He's running back in. Pressure!
He doesn't have the damage.
He needs one more auto attack. One more attack to take down Pressure. They're chasing after the kill. Flashing away the fadeaway shot. But he misses.
No net.
Yum picks up turret. Support to do all the work. Get knocked up on the Pressure as well. The Death will not get it done.
No.
And Yami survives with the shield.
And that's double digits for Nova, and very likely the gold lead they need onto those key carries. Again, you're looking at Echo, you're looking at Pressure. They're doing pretty well in last game. This time around, not enough gold to be able to get those key targets down in fights. And so there's paths. Either we play another 30-minute game, Furious Gaming somehow hold on, or Nova Esports look poised to close out this series. I think the big takeaway from this series, though, is that we're here, is that we're in Game 3. Is that Furious Gaming forced Nova to play like this, to
That is
play
very true.
WRL form against them. WOL fans should be very proud, and I think this raises some very exciting questions about the entire region.
Tell you what, TJ, in more immediate fashion,
Okay.
I'm a little concerned for this group.
Oh, spicy group now.
It shakes up. If Furious Gaming looked this good against Nova, power rankings could change.
Not my power rankings.
Not your power rankings.
Yeah, I think that's very much the case. I also think one of the things I have to be paying attention to is, okay, well, are they not as unbeatable as we thought they were?
Yes.
And that's something
Absolutely.
we're going to have to answer. And it will, okay, Pressure.
Doesn't seem to amount to too much. A little bit more damage from Yami, but Pressure starts to run away. The Ignite comes across. Furious Gaming corralled into the bottom end of the map.
And I do definitely think there was some, like, Esports were not giving Pressure and Furious Gaming the respect they deserved. Game number 1. He's burning.
Pressure goes down there. Rift Tunnel pop the bottom end of the map. There's only 3 available to defend. Watch out for the flank from Echo. But it's far away.
Echo thinking about flanking. Doesn't really have an angle. Too many players there. And this is again Nova just playing this so carefully. Like the Nova from Game 2 who's having a good time forcing some fights, gone. This
Absolutely.
is a Nova whose teachers took them aside, talked to them.
Told off for slacking off in class.
Yeah. You cannot give Furious Gaming an inch because they will pry it open.
At 10,000 gold lead here from Nova.
There we go.
Gets a Michael down here, but he's charging up his movement speed, trying to get away. Flank coming through from Echo. Yami, Honda to try to chase after. Comes in, gets a big 2-man knockup. Yetsa gets angry. Entry angle back in. Pressure tries to move in onto the Garen, but he wanted to finish him off. Taken down Furious Gaming. Lose the 3 they were pursuing the Garen.
That's going to be bad. Nova Esports turned immediately off of the picks. A very good response. Iza has been Pressure bait all game. And they go, oh, our fishing lure is out. We see Pressure on him. The entire team is rotating up to get these kills. Iza is tanky enough he can take the hits. Turn, they win the fight, they pick up the Baron. And this should be a bit of a bumpy road for Nova, but this should be their game 3. And I'm continuing into the winner's side of this bracket, of this group.
The Baron up here for Nova. They had a difficult time executing it with it last game, with the wave clear from Oriana.
No worry this time.
No worry this time. The Karma, similar, but very different other spells.
Ori nada.
Ori nada. Got it. Who are you? Honestly, DJ. Okay, attempt to catch out Pressure. We'll succeed here for Nova.
Pressure just getting a little too greedy, a little too desperate, I think is the right frame.
He's off in the silent, getting a little desperate. He knows he needs that goal, get back in.
I mean, there's just no way back into it if you don't take risks. There's no shame in Pressure for trying it, but
Absolutely.
the math does not up. Here come Nova.
Pushing in from all 3 lanes, Nova Esports at the doorsteps of Furious Gaming. Furious Gaming looking for a re-entry angle back in towards the bottom, and Libra starts running back towards the fountain. The Mega Bomb misses out, will not be able to take down its target, but Sartre walks in too far forward, gets tagged by the Charm. Nova on the Nexus. Nova moving in for the win, and striking back. It is Nova Esports with a series victory.
Nova Esports get the win, but there is one thing for sure, and that is going to be, it is not their story out of this series. Yes, Nova, you did win, but everyone is going to be talking about Furious Gaming today.
You look at what's with the preconceived notion of the power rankings, and generally they prove to be true. But while things are still being figured out, while the game is still being figured out, moments like these happen. As we see the damage charts here by Nova. Zig's a lot of damage, like we normally think, but Furious Gaming will always be able to come back to this. The whole LATAM region will always be able to come back to this. Nova gets the kick in the butt that they need to be like, hey, anyone can win. And that's the beauty here at Icons, and something that's reminded after we had 2-0, after 2-0, after 2-0, after 2-0. I think there's one more 2-0 that was missing. And then we get the most unlikely 2-1 here almost.
No one really saw this one coming, and I love the point that you raised as well. A kick in the butt for Nova. This was a team that was #1 in the group stages in WRL regular season. They destroyed it. Went to playoffs. They kind of lost their footing a little bit. Maybe this is the wake call they need here at Icons as well. I don't want to reach too much, but like the Costin said as well, WRL fanboy here, trying to make excuses.
Yeah, no, but now's the time. Now's the time to make those reaches. Now's the time to have those overreactions, underreactions, right? Because it did happen. We've been talking about it on paper for such a long time. Predictions have been going out for such a long time. And this was one that we might have been able to do in our sleep. And that game plays out the way it does. And Furious Gaming, unlike so many other teams in the underdog role, were able to capitalize on the advantages that were given to them. They never said die. They